I'm often walking around this lake in the afternoon, and when you walk anywhere, you get a sense over time of the others who walk there regularly, and if you're tracking that at all in consciousness, you get a sort of dramatis persona, right? You get the cast members and the characters, and there are a lot of characters here in San Francisco. Not so many of the old kind that were sort of super famous in their way, but just the understated, just kind of living their lives kind. And there's this guy who walks by me a lot. He's got a little Dachshund, and he's, you know, he's a physically big man. He's older, kind of low profile. Right? You wouldn't, you know. The funny thing is, you look at people and you think you have some idea like what's inside there, right? You have no fucking idea. I got to tell you, that guy could be a particle physicist, right? He could be an angel. He could be anybody, right? We have no idea, and you can't get a good read from just looking at the outside, though you might be able to get a little bit of data. The problem there is that you have nothing to test your theories against at all, nothing, right? So you have no idea if your intuitions, you know, are good or not. And some people are like, well, I can kind of get the feeling of the person's energy, or, you know, I can kind of sense their soul or whatever, right? Okay, maybe. But I'd like to see you test that out, right, somehow, and see how often you're confused. It's very difficult to not be taken in by the superficial, evaluatively, right? Taken in by the superficial, shapes and the character of the costume. But let's be really clear, smart costumes hide you from predators. They also hide you from people you don't want to really relate with. So a good costume makes you appear as like Mr. or Mrs. Nobody, right? You don't stand out at all. And a lot of the most amazing people have really deadpan costumes, right? There's like, you see nothing, right? And you won't see nothing unless you get close to them, because of the way our relational aspects are kind of layered from, you know, public to local public to intimate public, people you see occasionally, to you know, associations, acquaintances, friends, best friends, you know, blood friends, family, and on and on and on, down to, this is something I've only told one person in my life, and even this is something I've never told anyone, including maybe there's a layer where I haven't told myself, right? So there's all these layers, and the costumes help to keep them coherently structured, organized, functional, and sometimes updated if we're, you know, if we're developmentally doing stuff. It's so funny because I had no intention of making this complex a recording. There's this guy, he walks by, I see him a lot, older guy, big guy, nondescript. And he's got this little Dachshund that walks almost precisely, I don't know, 8 steps in front of him. And I swear they are the same fucking soul in 2 bodies. When I look at that dog, the way it looks at me, it's as if it's looking at me for the man. It's as if the man has a dog satellite that is, you know, boop, 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 right? Just like checking everything out so that he doesn't have to, you know? And there's a lot to this idea in general, as regards dogs, differently as regards cats, differently as regards birds and other animals. I mean, you can have satellites that are weirdly non-human. You can have satellites that are beehives or praying mantises or mice or, you know, earthworms. I mean, all of the intelligences are intelligent, they just don't necessarily look that way. Oh, I see a problem I'm gonna have to solve. So, you may think you can tell what's going on underneath the costume. Good luck with that, unless you get a taste of it. You know, if you get to check it out, if you're like a secret agent or something, you go around, what's the right word, like profiling people and then manipulating them. Okay, you're gonna get a sense after a while. But if you have nothing to test your theories against, the chances that your theories are good are very low. And we all go around thinking, oh wait, I'm Mr. Intuitive. Okay, great, let's show me some functional, right, data, because everyone thinks they're Mr. Intuitive. So it's a huge problem. Is that? Yeah, it's a really weird problem. If we don't get any tests, it's mostly probably just hubris, right? And also the specific hubris of the untested. Man, I can ride bikes upside down in the air, you know, having never ridden a bicycle. And then you get on a bike and you realize, oh, wait a minute. So yeah, it's really tough for us to test our intuitions. We don't often get a good idea from the superficial stuff. The superficial stuff is very misleading. Beauty and depth, you know, are at best strange bedfellows. There's some that happens, but a lot of the time, like beauty or wealth, any kind of strong relational privilege, something that privileges you and makes you seem desirable to many others in relation, that stuff's super dangerous. It can work out okay with some of us, but a lot of the time it just leads to crazy miss or failed development. And then, you know, sometimes you see people in their animals, and we've got these tropes about this, right? Like the person and the dog start to look like each other. It's so much weirder than that. It's almost like, in many cases, it's the same soul in two bodies. And this is something, you know, that's true about other relationships we have. We can have this kind of a relationship with place, with other people, like we can be parented by other people in a very profound way that is truly filial, and we can, you know, adopt other people as our sort of allo children in a way that's very powerful as well. We have all these capacities, they tend to only get expressed in very specialized contexts, which is unfortunate for us, because we would have much more common and deep experience of them if we establish contexts in which we can play and learn and grow this way, which is of course what I hope we will do. Peace for now.